Welcome to the latest episode of the Informing Choices mini-pod. Over 3 podcast episodes, I'm exploring the transformation of work by 2040. There are links to the first and third episode in the podcast details, or if you're watching on YouTube, they'll be on the screen. In the first episode, I reviewed drivers and explored a number of potential future business models. In the third and final episode of this mini-series, I will share 3 work models or scenarios, if you like, and consider what I think this means for organizations in the future and what decisions they might want to take now. But in this episode, I'll share some thoughts on skills evolution, which skills might diminish in importance by 2040, and which skills might grow in significance by 2040. What I'll then do is share some thoughts on 5 possible jobs that we might see across the next 15 years. So let's start with basic digital literacy as one of those skills which will be diminishing in importance by 2040. Because by 2040, interfaces will be conversational, multimodal, and AI assisted. Basic digital proficiency, things like navigating software, using productivity tools, managing files, will be automated, delegated to agents, or embedded deep inside systems. Secondly, routine data analytics and dashboard reporting. Generative AI and autonomous analytics already outperform most human analysts. By 2040, routine interpretation, statistical reporting will be fully automated. Manual analysis will be considered a lower value skill. Thirdly, traditional project management methods. Linear planning, manual scheduling, classic methodologies like Prince2 will be replaced by dynamic AI-driven resource allocation, by autonomous workflow management. Human oversight remains because humans are still important, but the focus will be on ethics, on risk, and on stakeholder engagement and alignment. 4, standardized customer service and script-based interaction. AI agents will be responsible for 90+% of routine interactions, personalizing responses at scale. Human roles once again remain, but the focus will be on complex, emotional, high-stakes interactions where the requirement is for trust and relationship building. And finally, the 5th example, manual content production. AI will generate the bulk of text, imagery, video, and simulations, as well as code. Humans focus on originality, ethical framing, narrative coherence, and high-level creative direction. So what about skills that might be emerging or increasing in importance by 2040? Here are 5 examples. Firstly, cognitive adaptability and meta-learning. With a continuous shift in AI capabilities and organizational models, people will need to learn how to learn. Rapidly mastering new tools, new frameworks, new roles, that's going to be absolutely critical. Jobs will evolve in ever shorter cycles, so humans need to be much more ready than ever before to adapt even more quickly. Secondly, human AI collaboration fluency. Knowledge work will involve teaming with autonomous agents. Key competencies will be an ability to direct, to supervise, to interpret, correct, and creatively extend AI systems. Productive employees will be those who amplify their capability through AI teammates. Thirdly, systems thinking across biological, digital, and physical domains. Real-world challenges span multiple systems: climate resilience, supply chain risk, energy transition, urban design, just as a few examples. Competencies like seeing patterns, interdependencies, unintended consequences will be crucial. So leaders must navigate complexity compared to isolated technical domains, which arguably is the norm now. Fourth, ethical reasoning and value-based decision-making. Autonomous systems make more and more decisions the further we go into the future. So humans must provide value-based judgment, risk framing, and moral oversight as some kind of series of checks and balances. So ethics becomes a practical skill fully embedded in daily operations. And 5, interpersonal influence and deep collaboration skills. Human to human capability becomes increasingly important. The ability to exhibit things like empathy, to demonstrate negotiation skills, co-creation, cultural intelligence, and conflict resolutions. These skills differentiate human contribution from automated optimization. They even help us differentiate ourselves from our competition. So I think all these things come together to actually help us to realize that high value work in 2040 is relational. It's human, even in the context of an ever increasing digitized landscape. So that's looked at some examples of skills that might be diminishing by 2040 and other skills that might be of increasing importance by 2040. So what might some jobs look like across that same time frame? Now, it's difficult to be exhaustive about the number of jobs, the type of jobs, but here are 5 ideas, because jobs will be different in 2040, as well as different tasks being important within the context of perhaps jobs that feel a little bit more familiar. So these new jobs, what might they be? What might they look like? Let's start with a synthetic reality designer who creates seamless, blended physical, digital, and biological environments to optimize collaboration, learning, and well-being. AI human workflow ethicists ensure autonomous systems act ethically, transparently, and in alignment with both organizational and societal expectations. Climate adaptive infrastructure strategists design infrastructure that dynamically responds to climate volatility and shifting population patterns and their needs. Personal data brokers manage individuals' data portfolios, negotiating value exchanges while maintaining privacy, rights, and control over personal data. And finally, neuro-responsive learning architects. These people will build adaptive learning systems driven by real-time neurodata to personalize development and accelerate reskilling. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight about how work and jobs might change between now and 2040. But do please put those in context with what was discussed in the first episode. Thank you everyone for listening and watching to this episode. You'll see links to the first and third episode of this short series, both in the podcast description, but also on screen if you're watching me on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of the Informing Choices mini-pod, and do let your friends and colleagues know all about the podcast. I'll see you on the next episode very soon.